All right, I thank everybody for tuning in. First and foremost, we knocked the team down to the actual 53-man roster. We know that there's only 46 active players, and I'm gonna have a video on that later down the line. But collectively, I love the team from A to Q, you know, not all the way to Z. I still have my reservations on this actual secondary. There's so many things, so many thoughts, man. When you're talking about a secondary with lack of experience, there's so many things can go wrong. Yes, we have the skills and the mindset and all those good things, but you're talking about lane assignment, play in recognition. Those are things that I just didn't see this preseason. There could be things that change down the line, but come on. I feel deep down in my heart that Jerry Jones and General Manager Stephen Jones and all those guys, and I like Will McClay scouting, and I'll be the first one to say I love Rod Marinelli's coaching style and his ability. But to be honest, man, this guy can't turn canned tomato soup into a steak. You just can't do it. Sometimes you have to reach out and say, hey, I'm gonna have to spend a little to get the steak. I do know that the entrees taste nice, but nothing equates a steak. And if we go all the way back to the 90s, we talking about Charles Haley's of the world. This is how the free agency can help you. The Charles Haley's of the world, right? The Deion Sanders. And if you flip to another team like the Green Bay, the Andre Risons, and if you want to fast forward to the future, like what the Patriots did when they went and picked up Revis Islands a couple years ago, and then they went around and they pick up Martellus Bennett. These players, these free agencies, these players out there on the wire, got to get somebody like that so they can push and elevate your team to the next level. So many times you can be nice, you can be neat, but the right kind of guys philosophy is cool. It sounds good, but you still got guys that's going to be suspended. You still got right kind of guys that's not going to be able to play. You know, I can look for the right kind of car, right? And it can be a Prius, but at the end of the day, no matter how much of changing out the transmission, putting in boosters, putting in changing the manifold and putting the fast performance tires on her, that right kind of car would never do what a Ford Mustang with an 8-cylinder gonna do stock. You know, that right kind of car is never gonna do what a Jag or a Ferrari or a quote unquote even an Infinity, you know. So you can try to fix, put it like this, just me just talking from my mind, you know. You can try to buy a Prius and put Cadillac parts on it, but it's not a Cadillac. You got to go out and get you a Cadillac if that's what you need to have the ride to be uncomfortable. But at the same time, in the meantime, in the between time, if you don't make those type of acquisitions, then your team can be just okay. You know, can we still go 11-5? Yes. You know, can we go 10-6? Of course. Can we fool around and fall into 12-4? Yes. But when you get down to the playoff time, your margin of error is going to be very diminutive, you know, very small, you know. So you got to make the right decision and getting a veteran guy. In 2014, I was yelling out, go get Antonio Cromartie, go get Antonio Cromartie. That never happened. And then in 2015, I was still saying, hey, we need that type of guy. Our defense was pretty good with the Kraken and everything. Defense was top, you know, even better ranked, collectively better as far as defensive back play and all that good stuff, but we just had no one, and I mean absolutely no one, to push the ball down the field. If Dak Prescott was in the 2015 roster, this team might have went to the playoffs. So they didn't have nobody. I'm talking about absolutely nobody to push and drive the ball down the field. Quote unquote, you had the Brandon Whedons of the world, and you had the Matt Castle, and then you had the small Kellen Moore. All these guys, they was the right kind of guy, but it wasn't the type of guy that can push the ball down the field. And that's 2015, and that was after Tony Romo being injured. But now if you fast forward to this year, right? Well, 16 last year, I saw too many times Byron Jones. He's athletic as you know what, you know, he can get to the spot, but sometimes in the midst, you got to take experience over the athleticism because he just didn't have it. You know, there's so many things that we really need to focus on this season in order for this team to just make it to the next level. We can get past our division. There's no accurate quote unquote quarterback that's gonna just carve us alive outside of the now Carson Wentz. He's gonna hit you dinks and dunks, and he hit you with the little small in and out routes, but there's no other quarterback that's gonna just threaten you to be like a technician down the field outside of it. Kirk Cousins. At the same time, in order for this team to just pillage off of those inconsistencies and things like that, and pillage off of the actual NFC I'm talking about NFC collectively, they got to have somebody put people in the right places, and I just don't see it on my team right now. So hopefully, hopefully things can transpire. Maybe players can gain some type of experience down the line, but I just don't see it, and that's what's on my mind. That's been my time. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.